Hey everyone, I just wanted to give a background on how I got to a high carb, low fat lifestyle, and I guess you could say the sugar diet. So I'm about 35 years old in 2 months, and I grew up with my parents and my brothers, and I ate exactly what they gave me. So I had protein, fat, and carbs, and all kinds of sources. I had the meat, I had the candy, I had the ice cream, I had the potatoes, I had the beans, I had the pasta, and I was a very active child and teenager, very athletic. I played basketball, volleyball, ran track, badminton, played soccer, and I played for the school team and also in like travel teams. So I was very blessed to be active. 18, going into university, I pretty much quit all of that, and I started to drink coffee and drink alcohol and party. I gave up on the partying, and then I decided I should go to the gym, so I did that. I went for like Stairmaster cardio and did TRX classes, and I would do those fasted, and then afterwards I would go to McDonald's and have, a bacon and egg and a hash brown and a coffee. And I was, again, just eating whatever was put in front of me. I didn't think about diet at all when I was in my early 20s. And then I stopped going to the gym. I guess I just kind of got bored of it. And I think I started to have sort of a knee pain because of the way I was moving my body with posture and movement. I wasn't really paying attention to how I was placing my feet on the ground. So then when I was about 25, I started to gain some weight, because my metabolism was slowing down because I was putting a lot of fat and protein in my mouth. I didn't know this, of course. So then I started to do like a keto intermittent fasting. I went for yoga teacher training a couple years before that. So I ended up at a hot yoga studio in my local area, and they encouraged keto and intermittent fasting. So from then on, I pretty much skipped breakfast up until 2023. I would just have coffee in the morning, and it would be like a fatty latte. And I didn't really do keto. I pretended or thought I did, but I didn't do a lot of research, and I didn't really care. I just pretty much cared about the fasting. So I had been going to yoga pretty regularly, but I didn't find that I was having the best body that I wanted. I certainly wasn't overweight at this time, but I was still kind of climbing on the scale. Fast forward to like 2020, I'm 30 years old. And the pandemic hit, and I'm running a business for 18 months at that time. So I'm pretty stressed out and anxious because I don't know what's going to happen. Starting to run my business as well, I was eating out a lot. We would just order in for lunch, like BLTs or hamburgers or soup and like whatever. I really wasn't eating a lot of like home cooked meals. And then I was getting into a bit of CrossFit because I thought that would help. So I even upped my protein and fat more. And I didn't do protein powders or nothing. I was just having a lot more meat and fat. That didn't last very long. So I would do this, like start something, be really diligent with it, and then give up, start something, and then give up. So that was rocking my metabolism as well. My periods got heavier, my face was more inflamed, and I've pretty much been casually drinking alcohol throughout all of that time. It got pretty heavy in 2020. And then at the end of 2021, I was really sick of myself, really sick of how I looked, how I felt. So I decided I'm going to aspire to be a fruitarian and start fasting 40 hours a week. I was very diligent with that, and I started to lose weight with it. So I was like, great, I'm going to keep up with this. I would still binge or sort of have meat-centered meals during this time because I just couldn't give it up. And again, I was not really having breakfast. I was just having coffee. So I started my day in a very flight or fight mode. And I was very nervous, very anxious, and I was very much a victim of my life. On the outside, everyone was like, wow, your business is good, and you got a house, and you got a car, and you got all of this. And on the inside, I was just like, I hate it. I hate how I feel. But if you're telling me I'm skinny, and if you're telling me that things are going good, then I believe you. I was like fooling myself. So eventually I went from 170 pounds to about 150 starting the fruitarian thing at the end of 2021 and starting in 2022. And then at my lightest, I was 114 pounds, which was like what I weighed when I was 13. I was so skinny and so pale and so frail. Although I looked jacked, I was like, all you could see was muscle. My skin didn't really adjust and it was quite like flabby still. But a lot of women told me I looked amazing. So I was like, great. But a lot of men told me to eat a cheeseburger because I was too skinny. But I didn't listen to anybody. I just decided that if I'm skinny, I'm happy. And that's really unhealthy. Eventually I started to like pass out. I was fainting. I fainted like 3 times and I could have really, really injured myself. It's pretty sad to think about, but I didn't realize that I had a eating disorder. So yeah, in the middle of 2023, I found high carb, low fat, and it changed my life. Thinking about my life before is like thinking about a bad dream, or I'm waking up from a nightmare. So I gained weight, obviously, because I needed to, and my hormones and my metabolism have been taking their time. So people on the sugar diet, I really do encourage you to take the slow and steady route, because if you lose weight quickly, you're prone to gain it back quickly. And I would also encourage to get rid of the meat and the dairy. It's really not helpful, but that's just my opinion and that's my experience. I will have all the simple carbs that I want throughout the day, and then at night I'll have complex carbs. So I'm having potatoes, I'm having rice, I'm having pasta, I'm having low-fat bread with soup or something like that. And during the day, I'm having smoothies and fruit and candy, and jam and marmalade and things like that. So my blood volume has increased, my glycogen stores have increased, my energy has increased. I don't have coffee now for over 2 years. I don't have nervous breakdowns like I used to. When I was starving and not eating enough, and still having a lot of fat and protein without really realizing it, I would be tipped off in like a moment's notice. Like anything could just ruin my day. So now I'm not a victim of my emotions anymore. And my period has changed from being like 5 to 7 days and very heavy and very clotty and very needing Midol and very energy deficient to now having a 4-day period that's like very healthy. And understanding my hormonal cycle and like really knowing what I need when I need it. And I eat a lot more carbohydrates before my period and my luteal phase. So what I would encourage women to do is to take time. Our hormonal cycle is about 28 days and a man's is 1. So I think a lot of men are having success on this diet a lot quicker. But again, too quick is too good to be true. I was coming from a starving state and I needed to eat a lot more. I'm now around 140 pounds and I still want to lean out. I think I could get down to like 10% body fat. So that's my goal. And how I'm doing that is by keeping the fat under 20 grams. So I'm going to document my process, show you guys what I'm eating, and continue on this path. Like I do not plan on giving up. I am not giving up anymore on myself. So this lifestyle is going to keep me on the road to staying healthy and feeling better and having the energy to get through the day. Before I was very miserable, very nervous, and I think I was a victim. Like all the time I was a victim. And it's really sad to think about now. So I'm very thankful that I was brought onto this. And so think of it as a healing process and health rather than just like, I want to lose the weight to look good, because that is not quite the goal. If you're skinny, you can still feel terrible and rely on caffeine and alcohol and not be in a good mood throughout the day. So I want to be lean all year round. I want to be happy all year round, and I want to be ready to take on my day every single day. And doing that is having enough carbohydrates getting enough sleep. And that's about it. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down below, and I would love to answer them for you and follow up in a video. Thank you.